Look at all this extra space. This is kind of cute. Like, you looks like you're wearing 2 bras. My package like ripped open. So I clearly didn't stay away from Gymshark reviews for too long. Luckily, this launch was a lot less painful. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a link down below to my last Gymshark review of their Soul collection, which was a mess. Anyways, today we're reviewing the new Gymshark Vital Rise collection, and I also got some of their OG Vital Seamless stuff in the new colors to do a little side-by-side comparison and see, is it really improved? I had to try these because the Vital Seamless just reminds me of kind of like OG Gymshark, one of the last like really good collections that I really loved. So the Vital Seamless were great, but the sizing was kind of inconsistent, even just between colors. And the waistband would always gape. It was on the Vitals and the Ombre Seamless where the waistband would just stretch out or it would start out like way too big. And I don't like gaping waistbands. Like even when you're just standing, sometimes it was loose, but I just hate when you like squat and your waistband is like gaping open in the back. And a lot of people complained about this. I feel like Gymshark was definitely aware of this issue. So when they were coming out with an updated Vital Seamless, the Vital Rise, I was like, oh great, they probably fixed that. And what did they do? Literally everything but making the waistband more fitted. They added this random pocket, they added a booty scrunch. I think the waist is even higher than before, but it still gapes. I haven't personally tried mine on yet, but I'll insert some photos of some of the athletes who look really good in them, but the waistband is just gaping. And I'm like, I don't want that. So I did always hate the gaping waistband, but I always did love the subtle dot contour of the Vital Seamless. It was a very wearable legging, but it still had a little subtle booty contour. Anyways, I did really like some of the colors that they launched for this collection. So I got the pretty blue color and coral, and I was just a fan. So let's see how these really are. Miss Peach is causing trouble. She's like always so entertained by the printer. Whenever the printer makes any sort of noise, she's like, I'm coming in. What is with you? Also, a random side note, I feel like this has been happening to people a lot, and I don't think it's like Gymshark's fault, but my package came with like a hole in it. I'll show you like a clip like when I just first got it, and I was like, okay, I was about to open this, and I just realized my package like ripped open. What? But I've seen people have their packages entirely ripped open, and I don't know what's going on. But if this hole was much bigger, people could like reach in and grab a pair of themselves some Gymshark leggings. So first, let's talk about the Vital Rise leggings. This color is so pretty. I will say there's always discrepancies in the color. On the website, it says light green marl. And on this bag, it says dark washed jade marl. Why do you have 2 different colors? They're the same color. Anyways, these are $55, so definitely on the high end of Gymshark price range. The original Vitals were just $50. I did get these in a size small, which is my normal Gymshark size. I don't think I've ever been anything but a size small in Gymshark leggings. So they are high-waisted, and I think they're a little more high-waisted than the others. We are going to do a side-by-side. So they call these seamless, but they do have the waistband sewn on. I kind of prefer when the waistband just goes seamlessly, you know, as a seamless legging would do. But it is like a sewn-on waistband. It's kind of more of a double thickness, thicker ribbed material. So if it was tight, it should give compression. And some things they added the subtle little booty scrunch. This is the same scrunch that the camos have, which I'm not mad about this edition. I could definitely be here for a subtle little scrunch. But they added this random waistband pocket, and I know that these waistband pockets can be helpful. I never use them, especially since this one's on the back. I feel like it's a little weird. The inside of the pocket is kind of like, I don't know, it kind of feels like a plasticky material. I didn't expect it to be like this, but this is the inside of the pocket. It's not the same material as the outside. So these come in size extra small to extra large, and for some reason I thought Gymshark had a better size range. Like, I feel like they used to come out with like at least XXL, maybe it's just some of their leggings, but I would like to see them go to like an XXL, especially since they pump out so many leggings. It's like, include all the sizes, you know? Peach, how nice of you to join us. How's it going? All right, so here are the OG Vitals, here are the Vital Rise. The waistband on the new ones is about 1 centimeter taller. And you can see the waistband is seamless with the leggings on the OGs, but it's actually sewn on separately for the Rise. Slight difference in dot contour detailing. And for the new Rise, they also have a little bit of the ribbing that goes down onto the actual leggings. I don't know if that's just like an attempt to blend this more since it is separated by seam. The dot detail does differ down the legs as well. These ones just have kind of like this little like stripe thing, and these are solid down the whole leg. And the Rise also has this little like, I don't know, kind of darkened detail that's not the dots. It's hard to explain, but I think you can kind of see it. And the OG Vitals are actually a little bit longer than the Rise. Sizing seems to be consistent among the two. I do have them lined up on both sides, and the smalls are the same in the waistband. Got some differences on the back as well. Obviously the waistband height, but there are no dots on the back of the OG Vitals, but there are dots still that carry over from the front on the Vital Rise. Obviously you have the little zip down pocket detail. It is a subtle pocket, I will say. The OGs have that kind of like raised little pseudo seam thing, and the Rise have a true scrunch. It is a subtle scrunch, but I'm here for the scrunch. They both have a little under glute dot detail. I think that the Rise looks a little more prominent. It might just be the color, but this one just kind of is in like 2 pieces, and this is like one solid piece. And then the OG Vitals have on the bottom of the calf the dot detail. And on the Rise, it's just kind of a darkened fabric. You can kind of see the difference between the marl and the bottom of it, and it's definitely different than just the dots. So those are the details. Looks okay from first glance, right? Wrong. Literally, look at all this extra space. Why is it like this? Because when you squat, there's like literally so much space in the back. I don't want this. It literally fits fine everywhere else, and I've literally never been an extra small in Gymshark, and the fact that the athletes had the same problem makes me think that it's not a sizing thing. They just like need to take in their waistbands. Also, this is a super high waist. Like I can roll it down and it is still above my belly button. Like we got a lot of space, and I don't think that they advertise this to be a waistband for rolling down. And just logically, it wouldn't make sense to roll down this waistband because then you can't access the pocket. So Gymshark, explain this. So now that we're over that, I'm not really getting any waistband compression, obviously, because the waistband is gigantic, but I feel like if it was tighter, I could maybe get a little compression because it is pretty thick. They also have a little weird area of ribbed space, like below this waistband part that I don't really understand. The body of the leggings is actually super soft and really stretchy, so I do really like that. I love this material. I am definitely a fan of the addition of the little scrunch. I feel like it's really flattering on the glutes. I'm gonna give these a high on the booty scale, which we all know, it's a big deal. From afar, there's nothing like super intense. It's not like a really intense scrunch or really intense contour. It's subtle, but it's really flattering, so I'm definitely a big fan of that. They also just have like a lot more little details going down the legs that I don't think I really need those, but they're fine. I give these a solid light to medium compression. They are just pretty lightweight leggings. This is just kind of your classic seamless mod fabric. It really shouldn't have an issue with pilling. Should be pretty good for performance. I do believe that these show sweat though, so be careful of that. I mean, it's hard for me to give a sizing recommendation because they feel really good everywhere except for the waist, so you can try to size down, but I don't know what that'll do for you. Again, they have this like random little pocket thing that I'm just never going to use. Like, what do you put right there? They have a little curved hems, and they are a 7/8 length, as most Gymshark leggings are on me. The dot contour detail kind of goes down the leg from the waistband and then curves like under the glutes there. So I love the subtle little details of this. I just think because of this waistband thing that they're not really for me, which is a bummer because Booty's happy about them. These are seamless, so I'm not having an issue with camel, and there's also really not a lot of gathering. So I feel like they're pretty flattering. All right, we've ranted about these enough. Let's move on to the other pieces. All right, so here are the OG Vitals as a comparison. This fabric actually felt less stretchy than the Vital Rise. I feel more tightness in the crotch area on the knee, and I like barely have any stretch at all of this calf area. It's actually really tight down here. These ones do not have the curved seam, but they're still about a 7/8. They still have dot contour, just slightly different placement. They do still have the under glute contour. They don't have the scrunch, but they're still pretty flattering on the glutes. They do just have like this kind of raised pseudo seam thing to give a little bit of separation, but I honestly didn't mess with this too much, and I feel like it's pretty flattering. I felt like the other ones fit me a little better, even though the waist was big, but honestly, this one's waist is also still too big, so that's just a Vital Seamless problem, and I could definitely not size down in these OG Vital Seamless because they feel really tight on me. I'd actually give these like a medium compression just because of how like much tighter they feel. I'm not getting any camel, but I feel like I'm getting a little more gathering here, but it's still very minor. So yeah, I actually prefer the Vital Rise, but not the waistband. But this waistband isn't good either. I don't know what to say, all right? This color is cute though. Next, we have the updated Vital Rise sports bra. This is $45, which I think is a lot for a Gymshark sports bra, especially since like I don't feel like there's like a ton of details on this that would really make this super expensive. They call it medium support, which might be possible, but it kind of just looks like the regular Vital Seamless sports bra, like a regular classic sports bra, except the back is a little different. But then they layer the second sports bra over this. They did this for that like Adapt Seamless, and I just have to say, I just don't really know what the point of it is. I don't know why they keep making this design. It's not my personal favorite. Like, you looks like you're wearing two bras. Like back in the day when I used to double up on bras, when my bras weren't like really supportive enough, if I needed to like jump around, like this is what it looks like. But they have a little Gymshark logo in the back and in the front here. They have some little dot contour detailing, and yeah, overall it feels pretty light support, but I guess we'll see. All right, so here's the sports bra, and I'm just like not really a big fan of this look. First of all, it just really looks like it's two sports bras, and I just don't get it. Anyways, the material is very soft. I am having a little bit of an issue here. It's kind of coming up onto my boobs a little bit. It's strange because I'm usually a size small in Gymshark bras, but there's really just kind of like not enough room here in the boob region. And I've been wearing it for a couple minutes now, and something is cutting into my back here. There's so many straps I can't really tell. I don't know if it's that or this, but something is uncomfortable and I don't know what it is, which is funny because the original Gymshark Vital Seamless sports bra is very soft and has always been kind of like a nice like lounge bra, never cutting into me, so I'm not a big fan of this one. I think it's a little skinny straps. I think those are cutting in. I don't know. I will say I do like the back of the sports bra. It is cute. I always love a little strappy back. I just wish that these straps weren't like part of a second sports bra. They just kind of like added a little more strappiness. I will say they gave these a medium support, and I will say that this does feel like a solid medium support. It just does have that extra layer of fabric from the second bra over it that it does give a little extra support. And I do feel very covered up, no risk for any spillage. I don't really have a lot of cleavage. It's coming up pretty far up, but not like a high neck. And I'm also not having any side boob. So overall, it's a fine sports bra. It's just not my personal style. I just think it's so weird. You can literally pull this whole thing down and it's like a whole nother sports bra. Like, what is that? I wouldn't say it's ugly, it's just not really my style. Comment down below if you're into this little double sports bra situation, if you pass, or what your thoughts are, but yeah. Next, I thought this was kind of cute and kind of fun. This is the half zip Vital Seamless pullover, which this is $40. How is this cheaper than the bra? Sometimes Gymshark pricing does not make any sense to me. This seems really lightweight, and I feel like it's kind of a cute little like pullover jacket thing. I don't know, I personally am here for this one. So it's a full length. It feels like a shirt, but kind of more of the shape of a jacket. It has a little like mock neck situation, so it'll come up a little bit onto your neck, and then the zip does go like halfway down. They have a little Gymshark logo here, as well as one in the back, and then just some of like the little Vital Seamless dot details. And the sleeves look pretty long, and they also have thumb holes, so sometimes the Vital Seamless material can feel a little scratchy, but this one actually feels pretty soft. I don't know if these colors were meant to match, but I just noticed that they don't match. I thought that this was gonna be the same color as this. That's really strange. All right, so here's a little half zip thing, and this is actually really cute and comfy. The material feels slightly thinner than the leggings, but it's really, really soft. And sometimes I feel like the little hand regions, the fabric is a little thicker, which this one is a little thicker, but it's still just as soft as the rest of it, so I'm not mad at that. It's definitely a full length, and actually I think this little like two-tone situation kind of looks cute. I looked on the tags, and the top is just washed jade marl, and the leggings are dark washed jade marl. So they were different colors, I just didn't realize, so that is on me. But I'm kind of happy with my mistake because this is kind of cute. I got this in a size medium. Sometimes I like tops like this to have a little more room and not be skin tight. It's still snug over the bust region, but I think overall, I think you could probably go with a normal top size or size up depending on how you like the fit, but I kind of like this size medium, honestly. Here's a little thumb hole area. It is a slightly thickened version of the fabric, but the sleeves are also definitely long enough on me, which is great. And this is the little zip area. It does come all the way up and has that little like protective thing so it doesn't like hit you, but... And they just have kind of some subtle little dot details all around this. I think this one was only $40, which I think is a pretty good price for like a long sleeve zip, especially in terms of Gymshark, considering the sports bra was $45. So I don't know, this is a winner. I also just got the OG Vital Seamless shorts in this coral color. Again, I think it was like coral marl on the website, but this is saying heat red marl. Either way, I think that this is a very cute color. I've actually never tried the Vital Seamless shorts. I've only tried the dupes. And funny enough, they didn't put the inseam length on the website, which is like the first thing I look at for shorts. It's literally not there, but I measured it and it's a 4-inch inseam, so these might be like a little bit short. And these do have a true seamless waistband. It goes from the ribbed seamlessly into the rest of the leggings, and they are the classic marl material. They feel pretty stretchy. It looks kind of light in color, so hopefully they'll be opaque. They do have the subtle dot contour under the glutes, even though they're shorts, and they have that little like raised little pseudo seam in the middle. So let's try them on. All right, so here are the shorts. I believe I got them in a size small. I put the tag up here because I didn't want to see it. Yeah, these are a size small. Okay, I'm just gonna pretend that isn't there. And I'm usually between a small and medium in Gymshark shorts. These feel pretty tight along the thighs in here, which I usually kind of just expect out of shorts these days. It was kind of similar in the Vital Seamless dupes that I have, except these feel slightly more stiff. Like I am getting like a nice medium compression, but it's a little tighter than I'd like in the thighs. I will also say from experience, 4-inch inseam shorts, they just like get eaten up on my thighs at the gym. So these are not the kind of shorts that are really gonna stay put super well. The waistband fits a little better, but I do definitely have just a hair of space. So I'd wonder if these would stretch out because they tend to do that for me, but they do bounce back after a wash. So they're pretty flattering on the glutes. I'd give them a nice medium, maybe medium to high. The only thing is that I feel like it kind of squishes me down here. So the back isn't looking great for me just because of that little thigh area. So these are fine. I just wish that the waist was a little tighter so that I could size up because it is a little uncomfortable in the thighs here. And this is the OG sports bra. They said that it's a medium support. I really have always found these to be more of a light support. Just kind of depends on your cup size, but this is $35, so it is $5 cheaper. No, it's $10 cheaper than the other sports bra. Kind of a steep price difference. It's just a really basic sports bra shape, just kind of simple front, racer back. Not much to say about this one. They do have removable cut pads, and that's it. So let's try it on. All right, here's just the OG Vital sports bra. It's just a very simple sports bra, not a ton of compression or support. I'd say it's about a light support. Like this is kind of like a bra that I would lounge in. This one still feels more comfortable than the Vital Rise because it didn't have those extra straps. I actually prefer this one even though it doesn't give like a ton of shape. Actually, the little rib part is coming up on my boob and this one too, so maybe that's just a problem that I'm having today. I don't know. It won't happen on everyone, I know that. And then there's just a simple racer back. Not much to say about this one. All right guys, so that is it for the review. Definitely some hits and misses. I feel like mostly misses just because I don't like having the waistband gape. I know it's not just a me problem because I've seen it happen to other people, so. But I did really like the little quarter zip thing, and $40 isn't a horrible price. Maybe they'll have a sale at some point, although Gymshark sales are kind of a mess, so I tend to not engage with those. But it was still really cute and I want to keep it, but I'm trying hard to justify myself why I would need long sleeves in the summer. And the temperature is going to be hot here for a long time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I hope it was helpful. Leave me a comment down below on what you want me to review next. If you're not yet subscribed, definitely subscribe. We got a lot of fun videos coming up, and check my recent videos because we just reviewed a bunch of fun brands, some affordable stuff, all good things happening. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!